I went to Perplexity and asked it to write a prompt for me to give to Lovable. I was wondering if there were articles online of people that have had that issue before. So I'm gonna try this prompt in Lovable. And I need to reload it. Okay. So let's try this Perplexity prompt. Okay. We're then going to write some prompts to improve some other aspects of it. And yeah, while this is working, let me also show you something here in the database. In the database here, notice how it stores the image from Smyth as an image URL. It does not use the file storage. So storage is empty. And we're going to need to store the actual image in Supabase, not just the image URL, because Smyth will only store the image, remember, for 1 day. And then afterwards, we're going to have broken images. It's the job of Smyth to provide the images, not to store them, act like their storage service. Now in Smyth, you could do that with persistent storage. You can store things in, for example, Google Drive. You can, let's say, you can create a file, then create a permanent link to that file and store it there. Or you can store it in AWS or other places. But in this case, Supabase already has something called file storage, and it integrates with your database, which makes it easy. So we're going to have to ask Lovable to update that. And so this is one of the changes that I'll want to make a bit later. Say I'm having a little notepad on my computer. I'm writing save the generated images in Supabase storage instead of by URL, and write those internal storage in your database. Then let's go and look at a preview. We still have to fix the contrast issues. Hopefully this prompt will make it better. And I will sign in. Oh, I didn't see that. This whole sign up page. This is a nicer sign up page. Okay, just the contrast issues. So I'm going to put the email in here. Sending the magic link. Clicking the login takes me here. Interesting. Okay, so the login still has issues. Let's see where we are on here. I wish Lovable was a bit faster. So yeah, our library is not using all the space to its maximum ability. It reverted the improvement regarding showing more of the post. Setting screen is beautiful. One bug here on account settings. So we just have to wait for this to complete. Lovable did say something that was interesting. That says it happens because of global style. I might also copy this into Lovable because it gives Lovable some clues on how to fix it. And one thing is, like, I could totally go into code myself and go and make manual edits. The problem with that is that this is a tutorial that's meant for everyone. and not everyone who will follow this tutorial knows code. So if I start doing things that are like alienating a percentage of people watching, then yeah, that's not the best way for this, how I built this series. Right. Yeah. Let's give it one more chance here. It says perfect. No, these screenshots give you the fix it. Here is one example problem. Find the issue that causes the text to not be readable. Use health analysis and apply this. Okay, sorry, I had to answer a phone call from Michael. All right, let's see what this did here. So said fixed it. But yeah, the last thought was we could work with Ayrshare, and Ayrshare will let you post to any social media platform. So any post that we create that supports images and or text would work with this. So send post, delete post history, review, messaging, comment management, everything works in Ayrshare, and it's already integrated in SmythOS. So all we have to do is grab a Ayrshare key and then build the interfaces for that with SmythOS. Yeah, so maybe not super easy. I haven't really checked the API. I just need to check how it works. Like, how does authentication work with Ayrshare? Do you need an API key? Do you need the login and password? I don't know yet, but it's something that could be checked out and could make the product better. Okay, so now we have one other thing. It is totally possible to make video posts as well, like talking avatars posts automatically with Content Spark. And we could add skills here to make video posts out of what you're creating, and then also automatically post it to social media. And other ways to make it more exciting is right now it just searches Google News, the last 6 posts or so. But what if you wanted to like scrape Reddit or Twitter or something for what's trending in that sense? So you can make this trending news. You can make this a lot better. And this is just like very MVP, but it already works. So this is just some ways we can improve it. All right, let's go to the dashboard and do Star Trek again. There's a new show for Star Trek, a new season out. Okay, let's see. I just realized that will not age very well if somebody watches this video. There's always a new Star Trek season coming out, right? Like, it's been true for the last 60 years. Okay. It is using words like Star Trek spaceship. So I'm not sure if Imogen will allow that because it could be a copyrighted item. Apparently, it's okay with it. Okay. So it did not fix the buttons. It did not fix the buttons. So Lovable did not fix those buttons. What are they supposed to do anyway? Edit. save the library. No. We need to add these buttons to the bottom instead. We'll take an image. Let's say move these to the bottom. Lovable signals. Wait, below preview. Maybe it's because I didn't reload it. Let's try this again. You have to admire how reliable SmythOS is throughout all this. It just works. I didn't have to set up servers. I didn't have to figure out how to make API scalable. It just works. Okay, the buttons are on the bottom. Okay, it actually was working. I just didn't refresh. So I just have one feedback here, and that is that my save to library button should be round. And then let's try and edit the text. This works. Okay. Copy the text. Let's see if that works. This is something important because I see a lot of developers like committing code and they don't test it. While you're working, you should always be testing. Okay, copy image. Okay, if I do this and paste here, this works. If I go here and do copy image, and I go here, it works. Okay, so Innovation Lab. It still is returning these asterisks. That is not what I wanted. So let's look at my prompt again. Unicode bold. Okay, I'm gonna try this again. Save this, and I'm just gonna test it in debug right now. Step. I realize my prompt can probably be a little bit more sophisticated. Okay, let's see here. It is still using the star and is using it here too. Okay, so let's turn this off. Let's take a look at our model that we're using, GPT-4o. Now let's try and use GPT 4.1, which is smarter than GPT 4o. And let's save it and try it again in debug. Because the instructions are there, but the LLM is not obeying them. So SmythOS makes it very easy to see what's going on. So there's no bold in this case, so can't really test that. Let me debug a scenario where I explicitly say, use text in bold in your response. The post text is, look at this. So you notice that I did not have to change my prompt further. My prompt was fine. Just the model is dumb. And here you can see it used Unicode, but look how cool this is. And you can hack LinkedIn this way. So if I copy paste this in LinkedIn, oh, look, this is now bold. How do you get bold inside of LinkedIn? Now you do. Now you do. So discard. Okay, so this works. Now what do I need to do? I need to not forget to deploy it. So I'm going to hit deploy and deploy. So sometimes the issue is not your prompt, it's not your workflow, it's not Smyth. Sometimes it's just that the AI model is not smart enough to follow instructions, and then you pick the one that works well. It just happens to be that 4.1 is a bit newer, and it's also actually very affordable. You can also try to do it with Mini or Nano, which would save money and would make it go even faster. So it's probably worth that we try it with Nano. So let me try it with Nano and see if Nano gets it right. Then Nano does not get it right. See? So it wraps donuts. So let's try the Mini. Maybe that one's good enough. And we try it again. I need to stop first, and now I can run it. If you want to know how long your models take to run, there's an inspect view, just like we saw in the Chrome DevTools. And you can also see your logs, and for every element, you can also see the request, and you can see the response, just like we did in Chrome, which is super cool. SmythOS debugging is so cool. Okay, look at that. It looks like this model knows what to do. And that means we can save money because Mini is cheaper than 4.1 full, and it will be faster. So let's deploy this once more because I made changes, and we're going to leave this alone. Meanwhile, we were debugging the UI here. This all is like not working, which is good. Okay, I would like the your name avatar to have 3 and then 4. Okay. I want 7. Number 1, number 2, number 3, generate and avatar here, this AI and use it in the blinking preview. And then 4 would be disabled icon on hovering over the dot in the top right corner of the card. Like, comment, repost, and send. Okay, we're just doing tiny style updates here, but this is all looking really good. And we can copy in from here right away. I'm wondering if we should also make the navigation buttons round. There are a few ones that are not rounded yet, like edit and start over. Let's go back to edit prompts. Yeah, not everything is rounded yet. I would like the visual prompts to be longer. I also like that you can make your own. This is nice. I think this should be better. This is too short. Let's inspect what happens. Let's inspect what happens in terms of input and output when I run this. I'll click on this here. And why is it already generating social text right now? This seems to be a bug. It's generating social text. It's too early. Too early. Okay, this is a bug in Lovable. So if I want to click create image plus text. Calls the generate social text. Okay. Okay, and then I had an issue with my prompts being not detailed enough. Prompts are just not detailed enough. So I want to suggest image prompt. Let's take a look at what this does here. A lengthy, detailed, descriptive prompt. No. Okay. I'm just going to add lengthy description containing because I want to boost the output a little bit. I'll also look at the output length here for a second. My output tokens are limited to 400, so I'll make my prompt 1000 instead, or actually even 2000 tokens prompt. I'll make it longer. 1 second, Smyth is reauthorizing. You just double check if it's saved. Yeah, this was saved. This is saved. Okay, so now we're gonna have longer prompts. I'm gonna deploy it. Okay, Smyth is done. Let's try this again. Lovable says I had an issue. Okay, let's restart this. Let's do Samsung. I'll take, this is not very relevant to Samsung, to be honest. That's why the relevance is slow. This is interesting too. We could probably use that when the scores are too low. We just say couldn't find something and give another topic, note, expand. Yeah, looking for week news, looking for day news. There may not be news in the day. So anyway, that's some idea to improve it. I'll just add it to my notes. Sometimes no content is found for the day. Use confidence scores. Okay, but we're gonna keep going now. Test two things. Okay, it only suggested image prompts, which is great. But I am not happy that my prompts are so short. So my outputs are so short. So there's something happening here with, did I ever deploy it? I think I did. Okay. It says deployed. Okay, just to make sure, I'm gonna do it again. Just to make sure I actually deployed because I don't remember. Okay. This is good, but it's not long enough. So what I'll do is I will go to settings. I will take my prompt And we'll go to GPT and I'll say, this prompt works excellent. However, the descriptions are too short. I need way more detail. I need more detail. I need more detail. What am I missing? What am I missing? Maybe it is good enough. Because then you leave more imagination to the AI model. Maybe it is good enough. But if I wanted to really make it longer and I can't figure out my prompt, the way to do that is you need these and the output should be longer. Return my prompt with the fixes. And so you can actually just give your prompt to AI and say what the problem is, and it's then going to write a new prompt for you that is more detailed. Okay. And now it makes a few issues here, like you see JSON, and it adds this here. Yeah, no markup, just text, no JSON. Okay, it's lost a bit of the structure. In text, it's gonna retain the structure better if it's an actual text box. Okay, this can work. Okay, let's just try it. I can always revert it. The beautiful thing in SmythOS is if you ever need to go back to a previous version, just hit restore. Very easy. So I don't have to worry about making changes that then are broken. As long as I hit deploy from time to time, it's fine. So I'm choosing this. Let's try to use the mini model here too. I feel like saving money. So I deploy. And here I can add a description like, prompt generator images. And that's it. All right, so let's try it again. I clear this out. I send this over. And look at you can see they're longer, right? Yeah, this is good. Yeah, this is what I asked for. Now, we could also think about what are the highest performing type of images. Improve my prompt from a conversion perspective. Okay, but we got what we wanted. We got a longer image description with more detail. There is a spelling error here in the image, and that's okay. That's okay. What I'd like to do is I'd like to be able to redo the text, regenerate the text, and regenerate the image without losing the other. Although for edit text, it's easy for me to modify. So maybe we just let you redo the image. I'd like to add that functionality. So I'll ask Lovable to make that better. Great progress. I see my post preview. I'd like to be able to have a button over the image where the entire post stays the same, but the image is regenerated. Music, beautiful. That would add to the user experience. Okay, I'm gonna save it to library just for testing. This works nicely. Take a library, works well. And I can copy the text. Another lovable post. I'm not doing this on purpose. Okay, the text works, the bold text works. And we're going to copy the image. And that works as well. Okay. Okay. Lovable is in full effect. Now, I'm sure that if you want a really good application, you just keep doing quality assurance. Like, you do this, it doesn't really matter because we're building an entire software here in like next to no time. If you look at things like this, could have taken weeks, like just 2 years ago. So in the scope of things, this feels like boring work. To me, I'm bored out of my mind. This is not exciting because I have to go again and again. It's not exciting to me. But think about it in perspective. It used to cost you something like this. A very affordable offshore person might have charged you $3,000 to $5,000. Very affordable. Bottom end. Right? And anything like medium, you would outsource this to like someone in Romania or Ukraine or something. They'll probably ask around $10,000 for what we've made so far. Plus, there was no generative AI to even do this. It was not even really possible. And if you went with high-end developers, like you're a company, or you don't really know what you're doing with outsourcing, and you're looking local, you could have paid $20,000, $30,000 for this. Let's say you hired someone in your neighborhood, an experienced person. It would take more work. It would just be that expensive. So in the great grand perspective of things, like this was only a handful of hours, and look what we've already accomplished, right? And so now you can take it from good to great. You can take it from good to great, by just continuing this process of quality assurance, keep hammering away at the details, focus on consistency, focus on user experience. Regenerate button, right? Is that really needed? No. Does it make the experience better? Yeah. All right, so let's try, we'll clear this up and let's see, Mercedes. Let's go with a car. I want a nice car. So here we would do a Mercedes C-Class. Hopefully I get an image for the Mercedes and this is luxury car. I'm gonna edit this. I'm gonna say sleek and modern. Okay. Save changes. I'm gonna go with this one. Just the standard design. Create your image. Just like chef's kiss, right? And we got our little avatar image here. We didn't have to do that. Look, we have the little do not click on it, so it works. Like, we didn't have to replace that gray circle with an avatar, but it just makes things better. Now, if you wanted to be a brand and make people happy and feel all kind of things, have fun, right? Put like a famous people picture here, right? And rotate it. And every time you generate something, it's like you uncover an Easter egg or something and find out what's inside of the surprise. So you would want to generate more and more just to find out, I wonder who I'm going to get this time, which could be fun. Okay, so now I want to regenerate the image, but it does not let me. Now just remember, I did not refresh my page, so maybe that's the issue. Let's try to reload the page. Because Lovable says I'm done, and it didn't see it. So let's try this again. I love how it's responsive. Everything in the UI, it's like kind of moves when I go over it. Oh, look at this regenerate image. It's funny because this is a BMW. I think that grill looks like a BMW. That's why you have to read the prompt. Let's regenerate. And the UI looks beautiful again. Really nice UI. Makes me want to start. Oh, there we have a new image. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, now I want to know if I hit copy, will it copy the correct image or will it copy the previous one? I have to test this. Don't assume it. Okay, that works. Now the next thing I want to test is if I go in here and I click on Save to Library, will it save the correct image, the second one? So let's remember this picture, check the library, and yes, it saves the correct one, which is just everything we wanted. This is everything we wanted. In fact, one criticism is that it avoided using the Mercedes brand name. In the image prompt. I had to put it back there. So maybe I want to update my prompt to say, I already asked it to not put people, right? I'm not, it added or branding. Specific names of people, unless, so it looks like Imagen allows us to do brands, but not people. So I'm gonna remove that term and then deploy again. And I think it's gonna make our experience better. So if I go back to the dashboard and say Mercedes, I'm gonna go with this one. My prompts this time, I believe, will include the word Mercedes. Let's see. And here you go. See how easy it is with SmythOS? Seriously. See how easy that is? Now if I just accepted the agent the first time, wouldn't be perfect, right? But look at this here, my deployment history. I've already made 15 deployments. So it's not like I take my agent at face value. I actually make an effort. Okay, I want to update the fav icon. Okay, that's just a small detail. But when I'm here, I want to not look at Lovable because otherwise I'm like confused which one am I clicking on. But other than that, I think the product is like ready to go. Again, it's free while in beta. We need to probably add some constraints to that because people could abuse it. And we will do that. I'll add it to my to-do list. There's ways with Superbase to control it. Limiting. So rate limiting means you could generate as many as you want, but if you go too fast, we can say, hey, take a break. Okay. It's all you can eat, but in order to get a new plate, you have to wait on a waiter to come by you to come give you a new plate to serve yourself. Or all you can eat, but you have to wait on the waiter to show to your table. Like that. Okay, so I asked for a new fav icon. Did that actually load? Let's reload this. Oh, I have I have an icon which sucks, but I'll stick with it for now because it's clearly different in Lovable. Afterwards, we can do some like fun stuff with like logos and branding and things like that. Okay, it's time to go to fix the login issue. I needed a bit of happiness for myself before I was ready to tackle that because login stuff don't like it. Now, the whole experience is basically I'm a bookmark this because we're at a good spot. Okay, so the whole experience is not so good. So when I come to the home page, I type in something. So I will just tell Lovable, the whole login experience is not excellent, right? I am in the home page and type in some query. By the way, I'm curious about sign in. Okay, and then I'm back to home and I do this. Look how it adds this conditionally if it's available. Oh, that's beautiful. When I click on some query, it takes me to the sign up page where my query shows this is chef's kiss, not chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. Beautiful. Then it asks Jones when I am on the home page. Then I am on the sign up page, and this page is called auth. It's important to be precise. Okay, however, when I'm on the auth page, entering my email, it just still works beautifully. However, when I hit access free,